Good evening and welcome to another Saturday Night Grab Bag. This is going to be for the week of December 16th, 2017. With the, hustle and bustle of the holiday season, no one voted on the spreadsheet this week. So, I guess that means that for now, this is going to be Josh's choice. So, I've picked 3 random games to play tonight. And if you guys would like to vote, again, check out the spreadsheet goes live Sunday afternoons with deciding votes cast by anyone who donates to patreon.com/gwbycer. $1 is all you need to get into our private Discord channel with voting privileges. And of course, we have higher rewards and goals as well. So the first game that I decided to pick for this evening is one of my all-time favorites. And I think a game that is somewhat underrated by a lot of people. Or by the majority of the public. But let's hope it actually loads, because I haven't played this one in several years, I think, at this point. And this will be our first grab bag with chat in the bottom left. Let me know what you think about it. I may ask folks in the announcements for Sunday. Oh, jeez, I gotta change the resolution already. Jeez, must have been a long time because it's all back to what my original was. 1 second. Wow, 2008. I didn't think it was that old. But let me just adjust the sound one more second here. And let's see if it's actually being streamed. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. For our first game of the evening, this is King's Bounty: The Legend. This is it's kind of hard to describe it. It's an RPG meets tactical strategy game, built around mocking and reveling in a lot of RPG conventions, and some really craziness, including taking various princesses as your entourage, gathering an army of all manner of mythical creatures, and of course, fighting bunches and bunches of dragons. The King's Bounty series has had several games in it, including King's Bounty: The Legend, Armored Princess, and I believe one more. And while the other ones have expanded on it, I still find The Legend to be my favorite. So I'm going to make things interesting on myself. I'm going to try on hard mode. So how it works is combat is going to be decided by spells and your own armies. And there's a lot of things that go on in terms of how you grow your character and your overall armies that will determine your strategies and tactics. And the 3 classes in the game will focus on that. So the warrior is all about growing and powering up his units on the field. So he doesn't get access to as many spells or things outside compared to the other classes, but he can overwhelm with greater numbers, and if he gets really powerful units, he can make them all the more better. The paladin is your middle between the warrior and the mage. He can field a decent sized army, but he can also augment them with magic as well as cast magic against the invading foes. So, in terms of utility, he is the highest of the 3. Of course, he's the jack of all trades, master of none kind of class. And then our mage here, his units, he will field the smallest armies compared to the other 2, but his job is to use magic to either wipe out enemies before they even get within range, or just power up things or change things on the board. And with the mage, I think the last time I played this game, I broke the game by doing some very clever things with spells. Also, each class can learn unique skills that the other ones can't. You can see that down there, over there, and right there. So, I am honestly not sure who to pick this time. I do know I'm not crazy enough to play this game on Impossible. Maybe we'll try that someday when I'm feeling extra cocky. You know what, I think we'll go with the Paladin, because I've been in the game with the Warrior. My first character was the Mage, so I know I've been with him. But I don't think I've been in the game with the Paladin before. The name Bill Gilbert has to mean something. I just don't know what it is.
King Mark's ascent to the throne was unusual for the glorious kingdom of Darien. During the solemn ceremony, Prince Car... For long years, nothing darkened the rule of Mark the Wise.
Don't worry, something bad's going to happen.
As the years went by, the gods looked on as the fate of Darien turned. First, news from the elven... However, these difficulties only strengthened the spirit of...
I'm actually hoping things will load right, too. Because again, it has been several years since I played this game. So, 1 second. Everything still looks good stream-wise. Now, there is quite a bit to unpack when it comes to this game. First, we're going to take on the Tess. The whole game is put into this style. As we move around the field, I can grab items and such that will then become part of my army or my reserves. We have gold, rage, and mana. Down here are my troops. I can only take 5 different units into combats, but the quantity is determined by their leadership. Basically, the leadership is the cost to field one copy of that unit. With a leadership of 2160, I can field 43. And you'll see why that will matter once we get into combat. Now, what's very important are the skill trees. Everything about King's Bounty, in terms of the world, is randomly generated. Or, I'm sorry, I think it's actually more procedurally generated. The world itself is fixed, but the units that I can find, the battles I'll run into, and all the treasure is going to be procedurally, or is procedurally put into the world whenever we start a new game. And that's very important because the runes here are going to determine how I level my character up. So we have skills I can enhance. If you notice, there are some empty spots on the grid. Those are where the class-specific skills would go. So we have stuff down here. So like something like this would be very powerful. For instance, the mage gets the power to summon, to cast multiple spells on a single turn of combat. Here's our spell list. We'll have to convert spells in order to be used. Then we have gear. There's our attack, defense. And that boosts our characters, if I remember right. Now, what's very important is I need to look for all collectibles on the map. These banners are vital, because they will give me a permanent boost in my leadership, which in turn lets me field larger armies. Now it's fight time. Alright, so combat is turn-based, and we basically go in order. Now we click on the enemy, you can see his stats, and basically how it works is smaller units that have less leadership requirements are more about quantity over quality, while larger units like this dragon are built on the opposite. So if I had like 800 archers right here, we could probably take this guy down fairly easily. But since we don't, we're just going to have to attack him. Charge! It's going to get a counterattack. And you can see how much health they have. Each character gets various abilities as well. We can heal. So for instance, a peasant may be the weakest character, but the more that are in their group, the more damage they do. And 3 isn't exactly a high amount of damage. Let's see if we get a freeze. Now the knight here is a dragon slayer, so he gains increased damage against them, which makes him the counter for this guy. Oh, and that statue decided to hurt everybody. Go for the treasure. We'll get our own army after the training is over, so I'm not too worried about letting these guys take the fall. Oh. Alright, bless my horseman. Oh. Ow. Get him. But really, this is going to turn into a battle for our knight, it looks like. There is zone of controls as well. Uh-oh, where are you going? No! He killed my archer. Do I have any spells that could help me right now? Because he flies, it means he can ignore zone of control to some extent. Alright, dragon. Oh. And then horsemen gain additional damage when they do a charge. Let's see, I'll do a wait. Put him over here. And this will get us the kill. Hold on one second. I actually want to check something here. King's Valley Warrior of the North. King's Valley Crossroads. Yeah, there's quite a bit of the game's release. I believe Armored Princess was the second one. Crossworlds was kind of like an in-between. And Warriors of the North was the third one. Let's grab all this lovely loot. I forgot to grab something. And when you're trying to play this game on hard... Oh, there she is. There's even more to balance in terms of trying to keep your armies alive. There we go. We saved the princess. Give me my reward. Alright, now what? So this time we're given some scrolls to help us out. And gotta check those corners. Come to our spell book, you can see what he gave us. We have Resurrection. And that's about it. Now he can cast spells of his own. Hello, group. I'm gonna let them come to me, though. I don't want to actually use his resurrection. I think I want to try and convert it into a spell. This is King's Bounty, the Legend. What I'm going to do now... Now, this is another very important thing. The more enemies we kill in that stack, the less damage it's going to do. So while it says that the enemy will counterattack, it's going to be far less because of our attack first. See, 18 to 171. Uh-oh. But he's using his own spell. Whose turn is it? Oh. Again, the Knight is a high-value target. He's level 4. And the level kind of determines the overall power level of that unit. So the Peasant here is level 1. So I want to keep him alive whenever I can. So I'm going to use some of my magic, get his health up. Move him over here. And they're dead. These two units are just high value, so they should be able to deal with these guys fairly easily. Charge! And we got him. And the best part, none of my units died. Your units will auto-heal after combat, as long as the unit didn't die. But like, let's say I lost 10 archers on my 20, they will not come back. But there are specific passives and perks that will let you do that. It will make more sense once we start getting out of the tutorial. Now we got an item, I believe. Alright, let's use it. Nothing happened. So the quest is done. And now we're going to do some digging. Oh, good. As As you can see, the importance of intellect cannot be undervalued there. Ooh, more treasure. And sometimes you'll see that aura of light. That means that we found something important. I can also click on you and we can see their stats relative to what my units are. So this enemy troop is very weak compared to mine, so chances are we're going to win very easily. Now if I want to take that spell, we need to unlock Order Magic. And then certain units will learn new abilities if we unlock it over here. And there's usually multiple tiers, as you can see. Oh, and there's that aura. So I'm going to just let them come to me again. Ow. And the units belong to different species as well. That may kill him. And again, 2 points of a counterattack I'm not afraid of. These are smaller units, so their power comes from having numbers. So when there's only 1 or 2 of them left, they can't do a damn thing against you. Just trying to grab all the goodies here. And like I said, it's very important because everything in the game, its position is random whenever the game generates a new world. So, missing out on potential upgrades can be disastrous. Oop. Not sure what that guy's doing. He's gonna probably spit at this guy. And the peasant, I don't really care about. I'm fine with just letting him go. Again, the knight and the horseman are high values. Also, another point about high value units, they cost a lot to field, and it's very possible to run out of them when you're trying to buy more. So I do have to be very careful. I don't want to let any of these guys die. Alright. You know, I think we'll just go on the offensive here, because I don't think these guys are going to be strong enough to actually do anything to me. And while I know what some of you are probably thinking right now, these guys are super weak, but you have to understand they're about numbers. And eventually, we will be fighting like one of these units that's made up of like 1,000 to 2,000 of these guys, and they are going to do massive amounts of damage. Let's deal with you. Yeah, that's right. Attack the knight. Now the poison damage does concern me a little bit. There may not be zone of control. Now I don't remember. Yeah, again, the peasants are just very weak units. Alright, kill him. There you go. I can show the turn order as well. And again, anyone who's still alive gets their health recharged after combat. I'll take that. And again, still looking around. Because once we're done with this area, I will not be allowed to come back. Alright, so Regalia goes over there. We'll also gain more leadership by leveling up. Here you go, buddy. Here's your boot. Alright, let's grab our scrolls. And again, making sure to check every little corner, because the developers were crafty with hiding buffs around. Alright, so there's the king. Now over here, every castle in the game will feature randomly chosen items based on the capital or the race. So we have humans here, so we have an army over here. We have various items I can buy. And of course, spells. There's the princess. So in order to field my army, as you can see, the knight and the horseman are no longer part of my crew, sadly. Now, as we complete quests for these various people, the army and the various items here will be updated. Sometimes they'll add new units here, or they'll increase the stock. Right here where it says Horde means that they will never run out of peasants. But archers, there's only 60 of them. So what I'm going to do is fill up my army here. And it's very important to try and keep your stocks at max, because that will directly impact their effectiveness in combat. Over here we have another guy. Oh boy. You can also use items and see what's in them. And again, more items over here. I'll take them. And this dwarf here will allow us to travel to other areas at some point. And here's our world. Again, what we'll find is randomly placed around, but the overall map is hard-coded. Again, it's very important to click on a unit to see what their overall rating is. Now, if we were heavy in magic, we can sometimes get around that, but like this guy right here, we can't fight. Let me do that. I don't know how many numbers he has, but we're not going to win that fight no matter what. So there's another little building here. So here's our entire story. We wanted to sit here and read the whole thing. Oh no, he sees us. He is very weak, so let's see if we can take him out. Once an enemy is killed on the field, they are permanently gone. We will never have to see them again. And one of the power of ranged units is that it allows you to pick these guys apart before they get within range. You can thin their numbers that way too. The broken arrow means that they are out of effective damage range. Take that. Yeah, so this will just kill him outright. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Again, I would like to learn a few of these spells so that we can have them and use mana instead of wasting the scroll. Oh. And these creatures have the power to create more copies out of dead bodies. Alright, what can I do here? And again, one copy of these little guys is nothing. He kills them all, then there won't be a counterattack. Nope. And the peasants, what makes them very powerful is if the enemy doesn't attack them, they will just rip apart anything that gets close. But they have very low health to begin with, as you can see. Alright, this will kill you. I would like to open up this treasure chest before we kill that guy. But I don't think we're going to get that opportunity. Some of my own spells there. Yeah. Now that he's dead. Alright, what do you want? Alright. Let's go to the village hut. No, I don't think the servers are still up, I think, for SimCity 2013. But I don't know if anyone's actually still playing it. He's going to try and follow me until I get out of range. Sure, why not? Going to the dark and evil woods. Yep, that's why we're fighting a werewolf. Okay, they're slightly weaker. I would like to get a 5th unit. And I am free to choose whatever units I want, but the morale of a unit will determine its overall effectiveness. And certain species don't like to be with each other. Demons don't like humans, elves don't like dwarves, and vice versa, and I think there's a few other ones. So if they're unhappy, they'll do less in combat. Let me check our time. We're going to try and keep this to the hour, so we can move on to our 3rd game. Let's move him out. And you do want to try and protect your high-value units whenever possible. Oh no, this is... No, I said we have 2 other games. That I think I may have messed up. Oh yeah, we do have 2 other games to play. No, I'm just saying we're going to try and keep it to the hour just to keep on schedule. I want to deal with you. Again, trying to thin their numbers out before we get into actual combat range. There is a slowdown, or there's like dead time as units are preparing their turn. Uh-oh. Trying to kill a few. Let's see. Deserve him. The peasants I don't really care about, but I need to keep our swordsmen alive. Uh-oh. We'll kill him for sure this round. And my mana will regenerate on the map. So I'm not too concerned about that. These crystals are used to permanently add spells to my book. Alright, we got some trouble over there. And what we're going to do is back here and just fill them up. Now we can take extra as like emergency stock, but I can only field an army for actual combat based on my leadership. And here's some plugins. That. Now there's a hero unit. You'll know a hero unit by the fact they actually have a character up there. That means they can use spells, and they have stats and modify their troops just like me. Now, one of the reasons why I have to be very careful as I move around is a nod to run to things like this. Let me see, what is the... There we go. Quick save is going to be very much my friend for this game. Let's take him out. And again, they'll be able to cast spells just like me. Alright, are they gonna come? He teleports right to the chest, and he's probably gonna use it. And again, it's typically good to thin their numbers out before you get into actual combat. So these are level 1 guys, and again you can see their stats. Ow. Oh, they only have 1. And you'll have certain battles in this game where the threat is just like one massive death stack that's coming at you, and the only way for you to really win is to take it out before, or thin its numbers before it gets to your party. Again, units occupy space, so you can block. These guys are the bigger threats, the captains, I think. There's the robber, there's Marauder. Or actually, my mistake, it's the other way around. This should kill him. Oh yeah, these guys are definitely a lot beefier. Kill him. Rage will come into play very soon. Get him. It may be hard to see down there, but you can see how many units in each stack are getting killed. Alright, we got a crit. Ow. Do it. And one unit in that stack doesn't concern me. Should be able to kill him. There we go. Die. Again, we only lost 16 peasants, so no big deal there. Alright, I think we have enough for the quests. So back to home base. A major part about this game is leveling yourself up in order and trying to progressively grow in power to then go back and do the higher level challenges. Did we get enough? Or am I missing some plugins? Oh no, we're not there just yet. But while I'm here, I'll fill up my stack. And yet, failure in this game is highly punished, because it's going to cost you to refill your army. It's also why quick saving and loading is suggested, because if you lose all your units, it's just better to reload the save at that point. There's more mana for me. Like right here, this is another army that's designed about chasing after us. But fortunately, we have defense right here. He's going to teleport and then probably run. Come on. Oh, he stole my treasure. The idea is you want to get your units just into range of combat, so they have to run you down, but then they run out of action points to actually attack you. So right there I should be safe. And I know right now we're dealing with very low numbers of attack and units, but eventually this game will throw in stacks in the hundreds to fight you. And the final boss of this game is a very tough one as well. Alright, this kills them. Really, it's this stack of peasants I'm a little concerned with. I want to be the one to attack them. I don't want them to attack me first. Will that be a kill? No. He's going to attack our swordsman. And yeah, might as well. Like right now, he's no longer a threat. If we were fighting undead units, our priest would be doing a lot more damage. And we'll probably deal with this stack, or this army in this turn. There's probably strategies involving just taking super high numbers of peasants and just keeping the death stack alive. Alright, so now we can choose. And this is actually a very important choice. More leadership means we can field a larger army. More rage means we can make use of special powers during combat. Man. I'm going to go for more rage, because the rage powers can become very all-consuming if you cultivate it early enough. Grab my spoils. What do we have here? Ah, so here's another unit we can take. And these are their abilities. Only half the damage. They are considered a level 4 unit, which means they're very expensive. And in fact, I can only field one of them in my army right now. That. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get him into our army. Now, because that guy is such a high valued unit, I really don't want to lose any of them. Because not only is there a limit, but it's going to get very expensive to pull them back. Where are those last plugins? I thought I heard an enemy. And whenever we get enough leadership, which will be 54 more points, I can get another Archmage, I want to do that. Oh yeah, so we have a talking boulder here. What else do we have? Hi fisherman, what do you want? And yes, it does pay to just explore every little spot, because you never know when you'll find treasure. Did we get enough plugins yet? Actually, I know how to check. We go right here. I'm missing 10. Here, plug in, where are you? Now this is going to be very interesting. It's an even field. So I do actually have to be on my guard. I'll probably use the peasants as a bait. Because again, when they do their first attack, it's going to be doing massive amount of damage. Now I just want to thin these guys out. Again, these smaller stacks will reach a point where they'll be so small they won't be able to do any damage to us. I'm going to use one of these. Let's do it on him. And again, I want to protect the Archmage. Just keep thinning them out. Blocked him, so he can't really come closer. Try and slow him down. And we'll probably lose some swordmen in this fight. Nice hit. We'll see if we can protect our peasant a little bit. Should be able to do the killing blow. There we go. See if we can knock some of these guys out. And again, if I was the mage, I could get the ability to cast 2 spells a turn. Alright, his little friend is gone. So we should get some pretty good experience from beating these guys. Kill him. I think he just got us a crit. The archer just punches. They shouldn't do enough damage to kill. Alright, go peasant. Give me the 3. As you can see, these battles can start to get on the long side, especially when we do evenly matched ones and boss fights. Oh no, we lost a swordman. Alright. They should be out of danger range now. And we got it. I'll take the treasure. And what do you want? Ooh. Oh, the royal snakes are some of my favorite creatures in this game. They can't be counterattack. They can cast poison and they're immune to it as well. They're level 3 though, which makes them very expensive. But yeah, I really enjoy having the royal snakes. So what I'm going to do, actually, one second. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. We'll come back over here. I believe the plugin is in the next area. Right? Or am I wrong? Let me see. Now here's another kingdom. Ooh, Ancient Bear is another really good one. And like I said, what armies these castles will field is randomly chosen when the game starts. So I'm going to drop... I can't remember right. I don't dismiss. There we go. We'll fill more of them. The priests aren't really helping me right now, but it's always good to have at least 1 or 2 range units. Here's some free gold. What do you want, buddy? Uh-oh. Yeah, so we want to get our intellect up to 15 before we even think about attempting that. That should be... yeah, there's the last plugin. And as I said, the enemies will not come back. I will... it's very expensive, but these snakes are worth it. Let's turn it back in. And we'll do that. All right, where's our next guy here? Oh, he's right over there. And this map will open up or will fill up as we explore. Don't want to miss out there. And I haven't done it yet, but I should really apply some points here. Additional experience is always nice. And there are no respecs in this game. So you have to be really careful in terms of putting things in. Here's one distortion magic. Each mine rune gives additional might. Additional rewards, trading. And you can see the costs up there. Let's go with... yeah, let's go straight down. And then you can also apply various tiers as well. Dark combat, bowman. And yes, there are day and night cycles, I believe, in this game. I also really want to get over here. But we need more magic runes. And it is very easy to ruin yourself if you pick the wrong passives. But if you pick the right ones, you can very much break this game. Especially if you're playing as the mage. But we are about to, I think we're just at the hour. So we'll probably be moving on in a few minutes. But if you guys want to see more of this or the other King's Bounty games on the channel, let me know. Because this is one of my favorite series. The combination of RPG and tactical gameplay works for me. I gotta be really careful. I don't want to be fighting anything too powerful. Usually keep to the roads, you're fine. Pirates. What do you have here? Oh, get away from me. I think I owned several of the heroes in my Magic games, but I don't think I've ever sat down to really play them. There's another dwarf. Yeah, we don't want to fight a Cyclops there. That would be very deadly to us. And pause is your friend. And if you miss the prompt, you can actually take a princess as your bride, and then the children act as passive bonuses to help you. Alright, before we go, I want to at least show off how the snake and the bear differ. While they can heal, they cannot bring back dead units. Yeah, I think the King's Bounty series was based off of Heroes in Might and Magic, or was inspired by it. How dare you attack my snake? And like I said, these snakes are no joke. They do a lot of damage, and they can also poison as well. And then snipe. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to see it in this play, but once you get access to this treasure box, you'll be able to summon spirits using Rage. And the spirits are game changers. They can heal, they can do massive damage, and if you play your cards right, they can give you the edge against battles with larger armies. Yeah, I definitely need to learn Resurrection. Oh, don't attack my Archmage. Oh, these are the higher quality versions of the Swordsman, the Guardsman. I know, its name conventions aren't exactly creative there, but they are a lot more powerful. And then the Knight is the highest version of those. Get out of there, you. Don't I get a run? Yeah. Charge him down. But yeah, big enough army of Royal Snakes will pretty much guarantee you the first quarter of this game. That's how powerful they are. But sometimes you don't find them, and then life is pain. Alright, but it's time to say goodbye to the world of King's Bounty. I just want to go back here. And not forget to recoup my archers. Alright. But yeah, if you really like this kind of gameplay, definitely at least give the first King's Bounty a check. The later ones aren't as, I think, as polished in terms of its balance and progression, but this one I really did enjoy. But with that said, let's say goodnight, and we'll move on to game number 2.